Hey guys, this is a brief tutorial on shared systems and more to the point how to recognize that your shared system is working correctly or not. The shared system is when you've got your hot tub right next to a swimming pool and it's circulating from the pool into the hot tub while it's in pool mode, spilling over the little cutout section right there. And that's how the water completes its cycle throughout the day unless you go into spa mode. Spa mode switches the actuator that you've got here on your discharge side. You can tell your hot tub line because you've got a check valve, and then on your pool line, a single on-off valve. On the intake side of the system, you'll also have an actuator. In this case, it's pointing to the left. The one single line is your hot tub. And then on the other side, you've got your manifold, your main drain, your skimmer line, your vacuum line, trough, whatever it is. But that's how you tell that you're looking at the pool side of the system. And then you've got your famous toggle switch, one on each actuator. Difficult to access, and that's by design so that you don't accidentally hit that switch, because if you do, it changes the dynamics of flow for your whole entire system. It can go two clicks in one direction or the other. One single click of that toggle switch will place the actuator into a neutral position, which takes that actuator offline, which is not what you want in most situations. So really, you should have no interaction with those toggle switches. If you find yourself interacting with them, you should be talking with Clint and or I first. So back at your automation, you're in service mode and you're at spa, fill, drain, or pool. Once you have it in pool mode, then you want to confirm that your valves are all in the correct position according to how you have your automation set. Just because you have it set in pool mode doesn't mean that your actuators are doing what they should be doing. In this case, the valve is splitting the difference, sending water to the right and to the left back to the hot tub, which again you can tell is the hot tub because it has a check valve. Moving back over to the intake side of the system, you can see that the valve of the actuator in this situation is pointing to the right, but the hot tub is here on the left. So that means we're drawing water from the pool side of the system, suction side, where you've got your main drain, your skimmer, your trough, and all of that section to the right side of that manifold. So again, you can choose which way you want your actuators to turn by picking pool mode, spa mode, whatever it is that you need for that moment. In this situation, you are in pool mode, so you'll go over, check your discharge side actuator. You can see the valve handle is down, splitting the difference between the pool and the hot tub. And again, the hot tub has the check valve in line. Then over on your intake side of the system, you look at your actuator, and the valve is pointing to the right, indicating that you are pulling from all the valves on the right and not from the single valve, which is your hot tub, that is on the left side. So the valve handle will always indicate which direction the water is coming from, or on the discharge side where it's going to. When you go back to your automation and you choose spa mode, your actuators should switch positions now so that the valve, as you can see, it's rotating to the left. And on the intake side, it is also rotating to the one single line, which is your hot tub on the left. And it's not always on the left or the right. You have to understand which direction sends water to the hot tub or to the pool. Again, check valve always indicates you're going to the hot tub. In this case, it happens to be to the left. On the intake side, the valve is to the left. Your single line from the hot tub is also to the left. So your actuators are set up perfectly to be in spa mode. You switch that toggle switch around, that valve will switch to the right, and you'll now be pulling water from the pool, sending water to the hot tub. And if the customer is trying to heat their hot tub, it's not going to happen because you're constantly influxing water from the pool to that smaller body of water, and the heater will not be able to keep up. So again, it's best to just leave the toggle switches in the positions that you find them. There's no need to adjust them with your normal services. And the reason why we're making this video is because the client came home to find their hot tub bone dry. This is just an indication that at some point the toggle switch was flipped inadvertently into the wrong position, which again changes the dynamics of the flow. So that's why you're learning how to check the dynamics, making sure that your automation coincides with what your valves are actually doing in the moment. Now I just placed the system into fill mode. Fill mode means you're going to be taking water from the swimming pool, and you can see the actuator turning into the pool side of the system, and the actuator on your discharge side is pointing to the left or towards the check valve, which means that the water is going back towards the hot tub, taking water from the swimming pool, putting it into the hot tub, which means you're in water feature mode or fill mode, whatever you want to call it. And if I switch it into drain mode, you can see that your actuators are going to stop, and then they're going to go back into the opposite position, taking water from the hot tub, putting it back to the swimming pool. Right? So if you're sucking from the hot tub and putting it back to the swimming pool, that means you're draining the system out. Okay, so we're going to go right back into pool mode. Before we walk away from the system, we're going to look at our actuators again to make sure that they're doing what they should be doing. Split the difference here. We're looking good on the discharge side. Your actuator is switching over to your pool side of the manifold. The valve will be pointing to the right, which means you're pulling from the right side of that manifold where all the valves are. So you are in pool mode, right? There's your connection to the skimmer, the main drain, the trough, and then the valve that sends water to the left and right side, and you are in pool mode. So therefore, your system is in pool mode, not just in theory with the automation, but in actuality, looking at the actuators and where they're actually distributing water or pulling water from. All right.